Welcome in. Thanks for spending an hour with me. Title of today's session is deliberately little blunt. Stop shipping AI agents on vibes because that's most of us are doing it right now. We'll talk about that as well. We build an AI agent, we poke it for a few times, or we see some LinkedIn demo. It feels right, and then we say, okay, yeah, my AI agent is right. I had done it. And then we shipped that AI agent to production for 15 million plus or like whatever, X million users or your enterprise customers. Um, and then uh, it starts breaking. And that's where building an AI agent is an easy part. Trusting it isn't. So here is how I have learned how to ship um, like AI agent by shipping to more than 15 million plus users. And so by the end of this hour, I want you to leave with a framework that you can start using it from tomorrow. And you don't need to be like super technical. It's totally fine if you never built an AI agent, but I want you to go with a confidence. I want you to have that context, what it takes to build production ready AI agents. A little bit about me. I cold emailed um, OpenAI CTO in 2020. I heard GPT was releasing, and I just emailed them saying I want to leverage GPT-3 to improve design and marketing process. And that note become simplified. An AI native platform now serving like 15 million plus users. I'm building uh, for past 6 years from like GPT-3 to now. And it's not today's session is not about simplified. It is the lessons I have learned while building an AI agent in production. And I have failed. I tried to build AI agent multiple times and I failed like few times at least. So starting was an easy part, but delivering true production ready AI agent was the most difficult part. And we as an industry also we are trying to solve this particular problem altogether. So during this journey, last 6 years, I have personally built products that have consumed 10 billion plus tokens and cumulatively across every surface, across Anthropic, OpenAI, like all different types of LLMs, we have consumed total 100 billion plus tokens. So every order of magnitude surface you can ever imagine. Um, like when you have that kind of scale, it is very difficult. So today we passed like 100 billions of tokens and climbing. And the same truth gets louder. More usage means more edge cases, and more edge cases means more ways for a quietly broken agent that embarrasses you in front of customers. You cannot get your eyeballs through hundreds and billions of tokens. You need a system. So more autonomy, more actions, and more surface area for things to go wrong. And that's why trust is the hard part. So just to accelerate and fast forward to today's session, building an AI agent is an easy part, and trusting isn't. That's the one thing I want you to remember, because that's where you are going to add significant value in your workplace as you're building the agent. The building and There are different incredible tools and amazing models that are available. You can have something working in one afternoon, but trust, like something that you have built, can it work like for 10 users, 20 users, or probably hundreds users, or you can take that to your production ready customers and put your name on it, your company behind it every single day on autopilot. That's the hard part, and that's the gap. So between it works in the demo and I trust in the production, this is where exactly the eval live. And we'll talk about that as well, like what the heck is eval. We'll touch base around that as well. Why is this suddenly so hard? Um, and because the shape of the software changed. Like if you look at like traditionally for decades, we built forms. So landing pages, sign up forms, lead acquiring forms, the question, book my appointment forms, and forms has like very fixed number of inputs, fixed number of paths, and the way software was built, you could like just input the like input text. So let's say for example, there is a form that sign up registration form which asks for like first name, last name, email, confirm password. Now you have finite input and known paths. So every field, every branch, you could test it. Like if in case of email, you put something wrong, then as soon as you hit submit, we were determining and we were blocking the user. Circuit was breaking there. And that's how we build software for last 10, 20, 15, 50 years, like since the inception. We build the products like this. But agent change that paradigm. Now most of the softwares, most of the products are looking like a just input box. That means it is left to the user's imagination. That means the way I'll ask the question is not necessarily probably Abhishek on the call or probably Bhuvan on the call ask the same question in the similar way. Users can ask anything in any language, and it is very hard to cover everything which you can, like that users can anticipate. So most teams stop testing and start vibing. It's a very famous saying, like it takes probably 80% of AI agent you can build in like probably 1 or 2 days, with the right set of people, with the right set of tooling. But last 20% is the hardest, and that what takes like energy, efforts. So real failure happens when when an engineer or like says it passed our tests. Like yeah, it looks good. The agent works. Tests are green, but 30 seconds says, because see now if you look at the AI agent, there are multiple layers. You have your model, which is whether it is from like Anthropic to like OpenAI, Grok, anything. You have agent harness, which decides like, okay, how do I respond these? You have tools. Now the engineers, when we are building, or the AI PMs, when you are building a product, you essentially check like, okay, I ask a specific question, and is my agent responding in a specific way? And depending on who you are, the way you are checking your agent is different. So let's product managers are looking at it. They're saying, is the user experience right? Let's assume that I'm building an AI agent that produces presentations, and we are asking for some input saying, tell me the presentation topic. And if the engineer says, like, yeah, it works. When you ask, it creates the presentation, ask for input. But when you look at the user experience, you see like agent is asking that input multiple times. So the test passed and the experience didn't. So that green check, which we were always relying on, can be misleading. And so why with that CI badge? So it felt the trust. Here is the part most of the agent builders essentially miss. You being satisfied isn't a bar. The people who actually have the trust this agent sitting around, they have very different asks. Your PM says, does it do the right thing for the user? Your legal team says, will it say something that gets us sued? It's a legal liability because since you are giving a chat box, anyone can go and ask anything to an AI agent. So you have to be probably cognizant about what are the things that or like legal and compliance team should be, what kind of liability this agent is creating for the company. Then ops people who are managing the infrastructure, they says when it breaks at 2 a.m., how do we even know that it is breaking? Because it's a when I ask question, it is responding, but like how do I even know like it is breaking, it is not performing? And it felt fine to me. It's not like it's not an answer that we are looking for. We need we need to know why it failed. We need to understand what was the reason it was failing. So evals. So an eval is a three things. So first, eval. So here is the whole mental model in like one slide, I will say. An eval is three things. One is input, something that real users send to your AI agent. Then number two, what is the expected output? What a good agent should do? Assume that this particular user is asking really a positive experience. Like user is asking um, right intent. Let's start with a very positive use cases. So you ask a question saying 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Expected behavior is it should do a math and return the answer. Now, something that decides then so first thing is like input, second thing is like expected behavior, and third thing is a judge, a code, rule, or a model that scores it. So that way, the judge can be exact match code, it can be a rule, or it can be another AI model that will grade the output. That's it. That at a high level, that's like this whole system is an eval. Like input, expected behavior, and output. And so let's little bit double it down. So here is an one example. So add a weather widget to my dashboard. That's like literally a question somebody asked. And expected output is exactly one widget should be configured. But then let's assume that AI agent hallucinated, did not follow exactly what you are looking for, and it added two widgets. So this is where the AI judge will come in, and it will just go and verify these things and tell you like, okay, is this the right thing to do, or this is where the circuit is breaking. AI agents is easy, but the trusting AI agent is difficult. So we talked about, okay, how can I even measure what it takes? We talked about like quick evals, which is input, output, and measuring the behavior. So, and the most important thing is, uh, it's like, yeah, it just did the right thing. Isn't the question. We are looking for like when I build evals for a production agent, I'm always covering at least these four my AI agent into four aspects. Miss any one of those, and you got a blind spot that bites you later. Maybe you will see like a significant AI bill towards the end of the month, and you'll be surprised. Like, where are my this? How come my agent is taking like way too much tokens? It is so, and this is I see the big opportunity for next set of builders. As everyone is building AI agent, most of the people are struggling to figure out like how much things, how like what it will take to build up AI agent that works reliably in optimized cost. So here are the four things I usually go and invest in AI agent. So first is correctness. This is the basic thing. Did it produce the right answer, or it take the right action to as towards my goal? For example, is that widget, is it added like only once? The second is quality. Now, depending on the goal, your AI agent or the way it is doing, the second option is like quality. If my AI agent is sales outbound agent, then I'll verify an eval. I'll add an eval to check the email that AI agent is sending on my behalf. Is it correct? Is it good? Is it on brand? Is it right tone? It is not too lengthy. It is not adding unnecessary. disclaimers. Because at the end of the day, this system, the models works is you give them a token and it produces they are looking for patterns. It produces the third important thing is compliance. Like, did it stay inside the rules? Uh, no unapproved promises. um like, did it like leak data? Because depending on your industry, if you're working in healthcare, if you're working in insurance, if you're working in banking, you are so for example, or like travel ordering, um when safety is when you're building a production ready agents for your customer, compliance is the number one aspect you should be considering. You should make sure that PII data is not leaking to AI model. You can figure out like how, and there are different ways to scrub these PII data. There are different libraries to achieve the safety around it. But it's really important. Safety. I think this is another really important aspect, at least to start with. Uh, for example, you need to consider like under pressure, it refuses what it should do, or make sure that resists the jailbreak. I want each one of you to just look at on GitHub, say look for the lovable prompts or like replit prompts. So people there are see, when we are building product, we are not building for hackers, but there are bad actors in the system who will do this kind of system and they'll try to break your system. They'll ask wrong questions to catch these things. So this is new to all of us. There not been like the traditionally set methods. So this is the framework I have been using broadly to make sure that at least you need all of these four to make sure that your agent gets production readiness, which is correctness, quality, compliance, and safety. So we'll share this deck. Make sure that like if you are using or if you have used something in the past, feel free to share, and happy to look into that as well. So next time when someone says to you in the team saying, "Hey, our agent is ready," make sure that you ask the right question. Like, is your agent, or if you go for interview next time, simply you need to make sure that you understand eval and you demonstrate correctness, quality, compliance, and safety. So before you write an AI agent, here is another framework I want you to think and make sure that you apply every single time. So it is a one pager, but you need to treat the way you need to simplest model I want you to walk away with. Imagine like you hire a new employee on your team on day one. Do you give them all the access to every single thing in your system, like production readiness? Do you give them access to every single thing? Of course not. We teach them, we show them how we do these things. We first, the agent, the manager of that particular new employee will go and make sure that, okay, here is our Git repo, here is our Wikipedia, here is our whatever, like this is where we store this is our Google Drive. So it's really important you treat an AI agent like a new hire. So write the spec before you write the agent. Treat AI agent like a new hire. Scoped permission. So which tools they can access, which API tools it can call, and which it can't. Maybe start with read-only access. What are the data boundaries? Which data classes, like what information it can produce? PII, finance, HR. Because immediately on day one, you do not get access to every single customer when you join any new company or work on new project. You first get familiar with the system. You start read only versus write, like which fields you should have. Then initially it's okay to have approval policy, means like what needs a human, like refunds, deletion, access. Draw that boundary. If you are aiming for moon starts walking first, like start take baby step, start small, then you can do the incremental changes. Rate limits and budgets, I think this is really another important aspect. People often look at this, causes a lot of surprises when they see a fat bill at the end of the month, and the meter is on. When you ask a particular question, there are rate limits and budgets. So, and the models. If you, let's say, for example, now Fable 5 unfortunately pulled out, but let's assume that you are using the best test model, like top tier model from Anthropic or OpenAI, like GPT-5, maybe GPT-6, or Gemini models. These models are costly. So if you put, let's say, if you are putting a heavy hitter for a small task, it is going to cost you. So every hi, every hello, every thank you that user is saying to that AI, to your AI agent, is going to cost you money. So you need to also think from ROI point of view. Is the agent I'm building, the question kind of people are asking, is it driving me any ROI? Or is it more like a fun chat bot? The long tail people are, the anyone can sign up and just talk. Audit or observability, what gets logged every time it acts. And there are multiple frameworks like Langfuse, Brain Trust, and many other frameworks that you can look into. We'll do another session to go over those as well. But this is sort of another framework you should be using, taking this home and making sure that next time when someone says, let's build an AI agent, evals and framework. Unless you do that, don't even start building an AI agent, because then you are AI agents, but it is like distributed system engineering that is wearing a new mask with like new things. The agent is acting as an orchestrator. So in the past, when we software engineers or the product which we were building, we were telling them when user signs up, send an email, first email, then probably after wait for 3 days, send another email, or once user purchases thing, then send the like confirmation. But when you give this whole thing to AI agent, you are shifting from deterministic, like a reliable system, to more like um, probabilistic system that can make its own shot. It can make its own calls. So when AI agent acts like an orchestrator and makes a flaky things, it happens like API calls, databases, like humans, you will end up in having like 2 a.m. incidents. Someone like retry never creates the same ticket, or every writes it just ask for human inputs. There are circuit breakers. So, for example, this is another concept I want you guys as a agent builder or like someone who are looking to build an AI agent is circuit breaker. So, what is circuit breaker? So, when your user is using an AI agent, anything, see in the past, when you fill the form, when you like, when you hit the submit button, it automatically show your password is incorrect, or this password is weak, or this email is not properly filled in. That was the circuit breaker, and you were correcting that, and you were continuing it. And those in the old days, circuit breakers were hard blockers. Unless you do that, you cannot go forward. In AI agent, those circuit breakers are soft circuit breakers. Let's assume that user enters it, and it also depends on how you wrote the kind of instructions which you have given to an AI agent. It won't fail loudly. It will just go and say, yeah, okay, I'll follow up with you later, and that gives poor experience for your users. So the and last is like the human in loop with, so that way any right action you want to make sure that human, at least initially, unless you build that trust, human is involved. Add like circuit breakers. So teams that win in 2026 aren't the flashiest demos. They are like they the ones the who can explain what their agent is allowed to do, and they know how it works. Not just like, yeah, it works. We need to understand as a builder like how it is behaving, how they recover when it doesn't. You should be able to answer these questions. Then you can deliver a successful AI agent in production. So let's talk about now. This is something I have invented or like I built. So so in theory, up till now we have seen a lot of theory. Um, how do we actually start today without the boiling ocean? Uh, so somebody will say, my I'm serving like millions of agents. The amount of noise, the amount of logs I'm receiving, it's just like way too much. So how do I even catch these evals? How do I create like build a framework? So I have created something called as a probe. So you can use probing. Probing is something like I'll share the screen, share GitHub repo as well. You can use it before pushing an AI agent as well, and you can use it with Claude Code. You can use it with Codex, and you can describe the way it does. So the goal is to catch like this unpredictable behaviors and optimize your system prompts before users do or customers do. So here is a framework for if you're starting from zero, basically. Write your first 10 evals this week. Collect 10 real failures, like from your logs, support tickets, PMs, real or hypothetical. Then write the output like, okay, this was the input. Let's say I'm building a shopping agent. What is the goal of my agent? Is it a shopping support agent, or it is the buying or the concierge service? Right, like you can use Claude or ChatGPT as well. You can say, "Hey, this is how I built an AI agent. Give me expected input and output for these AI agents." So you will have the data set. Pick the cheapest judge that works. Like lately, the way I've thought about it, what if we catch these errors before even they happen in production? So I've created so testing. Ask like, does the code run broadly? But probing because you have engineers who are or probably AI engineers, data scientists, ML people optimizing the system prompts, making the tool calls are happening. But rest of the stakeholders in the organization, legal people cannot. It's difficult for them. I mean, they can, but it is a steep learning curve. PMs, so that's why I'm thinking like, how can we solve this problem? So I created a framework. Probing probing checks like before you even launch, you build at that 80% agent. I want you to probe that question. Like, you created the specs and you just ask probe, does this experience hold up for a real user every time? So let's assume that I built an AI agent, which is like a website. So Probe drives a real browser, takes a screenshot in plain English, and generates the results with AI. So before even you launch AI agent, you can use the Probe. And so the way it works is, let's go to, so it is available. It's an open source framework. You can use it. So what this framework does, so remember I asked you to write the specs first. So what you need to do all simply is just clone this repo, and the spec which we have written earlier, copy paste it here, like a AI agent context. So this project knows exactly what your agent is doing, and then that's it. Like, you're done. So what you will do first thing is, um, what you will ask this Claude saying, I have added the agent overview. You can also add like skills or product information scenarios and will drive your AI agent like a real user. And it will score reports for every run across these different dimensions. And you can add many more dimensions as well. So the ones I have described, those are already built in, but you can say, let's say, for example, your agent does something else, it producing the voice output. You can ask your this framework saying transcribe the audio and then make sure that you are the output is up to the mark. This is a basic framework. You can take it, it's free, no strings. So and then it created the whole input, which is like so I asked like for example, I'm here, help me set up a brand book. So my goal is like simple bakery ad. Then and I have defined the exact scenario, what it needs to done. And here are the four different aspects like functional, compliance, visual, and brand. So my AI agent is going, taking like monitoring the output. It completed the whole thing, and then it is verifying the whole scenario for me. So every time when I run these things, I usually go and run the scenarios and check like, is this passing the experience? And if something is not passing, you want to make sure that things are you pass, you go and tweak your prompts. So for example, like the presentation example I shared with you. So I'm saying create a 7 slides presentation, and then it the want to make sure that there is like, if you see here, there is a translation missing. So this is a broken experience for my end users. So then it says, okay, these are the 7 slides that are generated. And if you see here, it is verified the whole results. This framework also has video recording. You can just enable video recording and it will work as expected. So this is pro for you. So start tomorrow morning or today, find this week's worst output, write 3 lines. So ship on evidence and not on vibes. As I said, like you do probing before your agent goes live. You do probing or like evals before you ship your next version of your AI agent. Run on every change, because then that's how you will start feeling like a lot more evidence. You will get the evidence and you will be able to produce more concrete and stable agent at the end of the day. So um, I'll be scheduling the office hours as well. The going forward, feel free to bring me your agent and we will write evals together. Try probe. It's free, open source agent. Um, I mean, we are continuously improving it. Subscribe to my weekly newsletter. I keep posting these learnings I had from past working with several enterprise customers. And look, let me